Hello everyone, welcome back. I feel like I haven't done a little YouTube tutorial for ages, so I'm very excited. So I've been asked this question a lot and I'm just going to jump right over and share my screen. So what we're going to talk about today is how to do a recommendation for another writer, creative person on Substack and why it's really, really important to do, why it's important for growth, why it's important for networking, why it's important for community building, all of the things. So here I am in the back office of my Substack. You have this little menu, this little navigation bar of different things that you can click on along here. We're going to go right into the recommendations tab just here. And as you can see here on my recommendations, I have got 1,000 subscribers from recommendations. So that is other people recommending my Substack to their audience. And I've got 151 people doing that, which is incredible, isn't it? I have been on Substack with this publication for 2 years now. So just had my 2-year anniversary in April. So that is something that I set up and started doing, once I understood Substack. So about 6 months in, and every single month I'll write at least 2 or 3 recommendations for another writer that I've been enjoying, another creative that I've been spending time with, another community that I adore. And I just do that at the start of every month, just to know that that is something that is going to help me and my publication reach more people, to grow the spider's web of networking, and to meet more like-minded people on the platform, to attract more like-minded people to read my publication. So the way that you do it is that you would come into recommendations here, and obviously you can see where your top referrals are coming from. So Molly over at Slow Scottish Stories, who I've just recently podcasted with, she's sent me 131 public readers to my publication, which is amazing. I'm already recommending Molly, which is lovely. So you want to be really working through this in order of importance, whoever is recommending you. And if you've got none in there yet, don't worry, we can start off. So whoever's recommending you, you want to press the recommend button, and then you want to go down and have a little look at see what other publications that you recommend. Now, Substack start to understand what this is in terms of your niche of interest. So as a reader, obviously these are the people that I'm super interested in. So I'm super interested in anything Emma Gannon writes. I'm really in awe of the way that she has approached her multi-hyphen working life as a creative. Laura is a beautiful writer, as is Rosie, as is Jessica. These are all people that I love to read, and the list goes on. There's so many amazing people there. And with that, it's always felt really genuine and really easy for me to write a recommendation for these writers. So as well as pressing the recommend button, I also write what's called a little blurb of support, encouragement, love, adoration for their publications. So you get those 2 lists, have a little look. Let me know in the comments if there's anything where you're leaning in and you're kind of going, oh, that's interesting, or I didn't know about that, or I'm not sure what to do about this. What we're looking for is to try and align with understanding what it is we like to read and what it is that we want to recommend. And there can be some crossover in that, but there can also be some things that feel quite different. So I love to read, these publications, but sometimes I don't actually know what this one is. I need to go in and have a look, because isn't that amazing? So this person, Generosity of Spirit, and maybe it's because they've changed their newsletter name. Sometimes that happens and I'm like, who is that? So yeah, so this person obviously is sending me people over, so there must be some sort of overlap with the way that we talk about the world and the way that we set up our Substack publications. So I'll just go ahead and press that little recommendation button. Oh, it's Emily. Oh, you see, I didn't recognize it. Well, I know Emily really well, so I feel like I could write that now. I'm not going to write it now, but let me just continue and show you how it goes through. So I've turned those all grey now, and I'll come back and write a little blurb for Emily. Okay, so if we go into manage here, you're going to get this list of why you recommend the publications that you recommend. Now, again, I like to, sometimes it's on the tip of your tongue what you want to say because you've just read something recently from someone. I think I've recommended Ellen on my other publication, but let's just go into here. So I've pressed the 3 dots, and then I'm going to go into edit recommendation text. I'm going to say Ellen brings a unique artistic perspective to Substack. Her posts on how she balances and manages an online art business and keeps herself inspired. Blow my mind. This is all true, by the way. I love Ellen's writing. Go and check her out if you haven't already come across her stuff. So that felt quite easy to write. Obviously, I've just done that in front of you. You might take a little bit longer. The reason I can write so well about Ellen is I've got to know our work really, really well over the last few months, and I speak to her personally as well. So I feel like I know what I want to say about her, and I know that using some of the words that she uses about her own publication, that'll just be really nice to read once she finds that. So we'll just put that in. And then that's that there. So sometimes I don't know what to write about people because I haven't read enough of the work. And that can be to do with the fact that some people just don't publish very much. When people publish more frequently, you get to know their work and it feels really easy to be able to write something for them. So yeah, I could do another one here for Hannah. Look, I know Hannah's work really well now. So Hannah offers beautifully thought through lifestyle content here on Substack. I always look forward to her posts and loved guest posting with her. So I'll send that off. Now, on the writer side of things, you won't get a notification about the blurb unless they've changed it. The last time I understood the way that this worked and the way that it's been coming into my inbox is you'll find out that you have a recommendation to have a look at, that someone has recommended your post, but they might have just pressed that recommend button, the recommendation button, and they might not have written something. If you want to see if they've written anything, you can't see it in here. This is just saying here, suggested recommendations. I could add all of these in. Now, I probably should spend some time doing this because I've spent more time in my Substack education space than I have here. So there's actually quite a lot that I would want to recommend here for other readers and just grow that network and just send all of that reciprocity out into the world. So I'll do some more of that. Look, they've added a manage blurbs button. Oh, I'm over the moon. So I was going to take you into another place, but Substack being Substack, everything changes every day here. Honestly, I'm on this platform every single day and they're always moving things and improving things. So we're going to click on this button and hope it works. Brilliant. Okay. This is great. So over in your blurb section, so we've gone into recommendations, we've recommended another Substack, we've seen who's recommending ours, we've thought about the crossover. This is one of the most valuable places to spend time for your Substack publication. Drilling deep into people's words and what they say about your Substack publication not only gives you so much clarity about what it is that you offer and what you're doing for your readers, what you're enabling, how you're helping them connect and how you're making them feel. All of that stuff's brilliant, but it also gives you lots of insight into things that you wouldn't have described your publication as. And this is so, so important to attract other like-minded people into the space. I feel like I'm really, really good at this. So when I started Sparkle on Substack, I knew having Sparkle in the title was going to put off a load of people, and that was so purposeful. I'm just like, you're not my people. Like, if you don't know about the Sparkle and you don't care about the Sparkle, you probably don't want to be here because I talk about it all the time. So that is a very yeah, it's a very black and white example of what I've done purposefully to put off people that I don't want to have to manage in my space. Everyone's welcome, shall I just say? I'll just say that everyone is welcome, but I know that the way that I teach isn't going to connect to people who are a certain type of person, who are on Substack for reasons of like just purely for growth, purely for driving growth at all costs. Like, they are just not my people. I can help people grow, but I'm always going to bring them back to why do they want to do it and what feels sustainable and joyful to them, because growing is so different to growing joyfully and sustainably. And that's what I'm all about. Anyway, pitch over. Here we are in blurbs. So this is gorgeous. And you can add 3 blurbs to your homepage that people land on before they subscribe to your Substack. So I've added this one from Gillian. It's a few words and it just says what it is that I'm offering at Creatively Conscious. So that feels really, really good. And then I've added this from Hunter because it's a little bit longer. It shows a little bit more about how she comes to my work and how she's finding my work. So I really like that one. And then there'll be another one. It's probably on the next page. There's 27 to choose from. So I know that seems a lot. And if you haven't got any, don't worry. These just build up over time. Interesting. Maybe I haven't added a third one or it's jumped out for some reason. Okay, let's add one. Should let me do it. So let's add Tamsin's blurb to my publication. There we go. So that means now I will just try and add another one. Yeah, 3 active blurbs, you see, so I haven't changed that. So you can add 3. So when people land on your Substack, they are going to see these blurbs pulled through. And people will get what you want to say about your publication describer and the 3 lovely lovely prompts that other people have said. So don't choose 3 that say exactly the same thing. Have some crossover, but try and choose 3 that give the variety of what it is that you're offering on Substack. That would be my advice. Know that within here, you can also screenshot some of these, which is really lovely to do to put on your publication if you're ever trying to encourage new readers in, or if you're doing a push for paid subscribers. You could go to these people and ask them, have you got more to say? I would love it if you could extend what you've said and give me more of a testimonial. Can I use you as a case study for someone who is really enjoying my publication or has loved my work? Any of that is up for grabs. So I quite often just come in and just grab like 3 and just do it like that. And then obviously you've then got a screenshot to weave into your publication that just adds social proof. And it also just feels really nice. It feels nice for these people to be mentioned. Make sure you put a tag in so they can see that. And it just really builds that sense of reciprocity and feel good factor. And, you know, that whole thing of like, it's community over competition every time. So just to recap, this is the recommendations tool here. This is where you're going to see how many subscribers you've got from recommendations, how many publications are recommending you. If you like to gamify the system, you know, try and get to 200, try and get to 300. I don't know, whatever you want. I definitely, when this was creeping up to 150, was like, oh, that'll be nice. But it wasn't something I was consciously bringing attention to because I was consciously bringing attention somewhere else. But you could totally do that. Obviously, you can see these would be great people to collaborate with, to talk to get to know. You know, you want to be colleagues, you want to podcast together, you want to do guest posts. That's going to be really good. Having a look at this as well is just a lovely thing, you know, getting really clear on who it is you recommend, who you like to read, getting really clear on what that's about for you, because it helps you to understand your values as a creative, as a business owner, as a newsletter builder, as somebody who wants to build a membership, whatever it is, whatever's bringing you here, this is going to really help. And then when we go into the manage button, this is where you've got everything that you need to do in terms of writing blurbs, and right down at the bottom, you can manage blurbs there. You can add a recommendation if it's not on your list already, but it should be. And then obviously you can choose whether the recommendation are on the home page, and then the recommendations in Substack recommendations digest. I tick every button that Substack has invited me to tick, apart from the AI one. I just think they do everything they possibly can to help us grow. They will suggest your publication along with others once this builds up in the back office. And this is why I have so many subscribers. It's not the only reason. Obviously, what I do is brilliant and high quality and all of that stuff, but we can still be doing all of that and feeling like that we're not growing and we're not getting anywhere. I've grown because Substack recommend my publication. They take that and that algorithm of what I'm recommended with and for and aligned next to, and they recommend it to other people. So I hope that's super helpful. I really, really would encourage you to just have a little look at this. Not only does it feel really good, but just write yourself a few notes on the words people are using to describe your work. and reflect some of those words back next time you are looking for people to subscribe, as well as the way that you describe it yourself. I hope that is super, super helpful. It's been so lovely to be here again. You can join Sparkle on Substack if you would like more support with growing your Substack, with growing sustainably and joyfully. We're over there. We've got a community of 300 like-minded people, and they're all amazing. The free community is brilliant as well. If you want to pop over, I'm always putting out free content and education that people can use. I want you guys to use it. I'm here in service to you. I also want you to go deeper and join the membership and have a lovely time there. I have my diamond members as well. So these are people that really want to take their Substack to the next level. They want to elevate what they're doing on Substack. They want to make money on Substack. They want to be there and show up for their own creativity and work out how, in a person-centered way, it can holistically fit with everything else that they're doing in business or anything else that they're doing within their life. So there's a real balance of people within that membership. At the moment, at the time of recording, it's £250 a year. So go on over. You can access all of the archive. You can access the guest expert calls that I've got coming up. And you've got DM access to me to talk about Substack strategy whenever you want. So at the time of recording, that is open access, and that will be closing. But at the moment, anybody that joins can DM me anytime. So I hope that's all super useful. I will speak to you on the next call. See you later.